The Roman Catholic Church during the Middle Ages, I've already read documentation where they slew millions of heretics who didn't go exactly by what they said. A ninth point of comparison. Red communism allows no one to disagree with it. The Roman Catholic Church, when it is an absolute power, allows no one to disagree with it. This is why they're going to be able to be compatible. Number 10, red communism denies the supremacy of the Constitution of the United States. Now, I have a document, I've got it with me right here, and it shows from Roman canon law that the Constitution of the United States must be dissolved because our Constitution guarantees us freedom of religion, and it must be dissolved so that the Catholic Church can bring us under subjection to its own rules and regulations. So it is totally against the Constitution of the United States also. Now, for the final. From this book, I want to read a couple of statements from the introduction of the book, The Vatican-Moscow-Washington Alliance by Avro Manhattan. Now, these were former Jesuit priests who left the priesthood. Okay, and then we'll bring it to a close today. To meet the challenge of the forthcoming communist takeover of pre- and post-World War III. So they're looking forward to a World War III. The Catholic Church has also formulated a long-term strategy of her own. The creation of a peculiar new brand of Catholicized communism. Its launching was done under the protective wings of the Vatican-Washington Alliance. And right now, Ronald Reagan has in his office, in the Oval Office, a hotline connected with the Vatican. Not only Moscow, but the Vatican right now. It has since been mainly identified with the grand-scale implementation of Catholic Marxism in the very backyard of the United States, namely in Latin America. And this is what's going on. That's why the Jesuit orders down there are working hand in hand with the Marxists to overthrow Catholic South America, to bring it into the wave of the future. Because the Catholic Church in 1958 was totally against international communism. But something happened, and this book explains it. There was a death of a pope. Suddenly, mysteriously. So mysterious they wouldn't even allow an autopsy. And then suddenly, those in charge at the Vatican and the new pope reversed things. And they started working on the side of the communists in Russia. And for until 1978, they've continued to work hand in hand, working for red communism, Russian-style Catholicism. But then in 1978, something happened. There was a pope who came on the scene. He died suddenly. And then another man was put into office who was neutral. He wasn't for the United States. He wasn't for Russia. And this book explains it. And suddenly, only 33 or 34 days in office, he died mysteriously. They wouldn't allow either of those two popes to have an autopsy to find out why they died. And they buried them. And now they brought in a Catholic pope from Red Poland. And suddenly things have been happening. The injection of Marxist tenets into Roman Catholicism is meant to undermine the economic and social structures of the lands where it is preached. The election of a pope, John Paul II, hailing from a communist Catholic country like Poland, is the clearest indication of the course along which the Catholic Church now has so decisively embarked. Catholic Marxism is what he calls it, is the new theology of the future. Its ultimate objective is the partial overthrow of the current world order as a preparatory step for the advent of a Catholicized world communism. They are creating a global super-religious ideology. This is from this book. Now, I only want to read a couple more statements. World War I produced communist Russia. World War II produced communist China. Regional wars since then have produced communist regimes in Africa and Asia and in South America. World War III will produce a communist world. When that happens, the Catholic Church will have produced a communist Christianity of our own. Now listen to the slogan. This is now the modern slogan of the Catholic Church. Ubi Lenin. I buy Jerusalem. Interpreted into English, where Lenin is, there is Jerusalem. The Catholic Church, once again, riding the nations of the earth to global power. But there is something that's going to happen to this church, and this will definitely be my final statement for today. Revelation chapter 17 shows that once this church system mounts and rides this final world social system, when it goes down to a certain period of time, down in verse 16, and the 10 of Revelation 17, and the 10 horns which you saw upon the beast shall hate the whore. This end-time global government is going to turn against the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is using it, and it's using the Catholic Church. They're using each other. But the problem is going to be is that the political system is going to have the armaments. So it's going to, notice what it's going to do. It's going to hate the whore and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. They already have plans for any religious organization on earth that will not come under the one world government and worship the beast as God. They said they would even use nuclear weapons to blow it off the face of the earth. Could that be what this means right here? Verse 17, for God has put in their hearts to fulfill His will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast. So the beast is going to ultimately destroy this great false system in its final surge for world dominance. So the Catholic Church will rule again, but for a short period of time until it's destroyed.